planned power outage will affect over 1,000 people in southern Indiana beginning tonight. That planned outage will affect about 1,200 if you are a Duke Energy customer. It's shutting off the power for those of you in Charlestown. Scheduled to begin tonight at 11. It'll go through 5 a.m. tomorrow. This outage is being conducted so crews can work safely while they replace some severely damaged crossarms on power poles that could cause an unplanned, much longer outage if not replaced soon. In about 30 minutes, the court hearing for former LMPD officer Brett Henderson gets underway to determine if he will go to trial once again for his role in the Breonna Taylor raid. The jury deadlocked last month, saying it could not honestly and reasonably reach a verdict, and that forced the judge to declare a mistrial. Henderson was charged with violating Taylor's civil rights in March of 2020 when she was fatally shot. He's expected in court at 12:30 this afternoon. LMPD identified the man and officer involved in a shooting last Friday. Police said Sergeant Joshua Arwine shot 28-year-old Marvin Perry Smith during a traffic stop around 4th and Central. Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villarreal said detectives were conducting that stop when Smith, a passenger in the car, got out with a pistol and ran. Officers chased him and ordered him to drop that gun. When he didn't, police said Sergeant Arwine shot him. He is now on administrative leave, as is LMPD policy. Smith survived but is still at the hospital. Police say he's facing 6 drug trafficking charges with more pending. Body camera video of that shooting is expected to be released before the end of next week. The trial of triple murder suspect Bryce Rhodes continues today after Tuesday's opening statements. The jury heard from homicide detectives and saw video from one of the crime scenes. Prosecutors say Rhodes beat and stabbed 2 teen brothers, Larry Ordway and Maurice Gordon, in 2016 after they witnessed him kill 40-year-old Christopher Jones. The teens' bodies were found burned in the backyard of an abandoned home in West Louisville.
Callous and casual was the first murder. The 2 that followed were calculating and cruel. In May of 2016, Bryce Rhodes snuffed out the life of Christopher Jones, Larry Ordway, and Maurice Gordon.
Detectives say they found the teen's DNA underneath Rhodes' carpet, but defense attorneys say there's still a lack of evidence. In her opening statements, Rhodes' attorney said another person is responsible.
I stabbed Maurice in his side. I drove on him. I ran him over. Ladies and gentlemen, these are quotes from someone involved in this case, but these are not quotes from Bryce Rhodes. These statements were made by Ann Carter. Ann Carter talking about killing his best friend, Maurice Gordon, and running over a helpless Christopher Jones.
If convicted, Bryce Rhodes faces life in prison.
The office of governor, according to law.
The office of governor, according to law.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear officially in his 2nd term. He was sworn in during a private ceremony at midnight Tuesday and then again in the afternoon for that public inauguration. We saw a variety of current and former state leaders in attendance, from governors to Kentucky's Secretary of State, the new Attorney General, and Treasurer. Our senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton explained Beshear's plans for his 2nd term.
Kentucky's governor arriving to the state capitol with his family by carriage late Tuesday morning.
All right. How you doing, Governor? How are you?
Soon after, he was standing amongst the crowd and over the mantra of his 2nd term, "Forward Together." Hours later, his inauguration ceremony was in full swing.
Now I'm focused on the universal sound.
Andy Beshear's oath of office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Governor.
In the words to his home state, Beshear promising these next 4 years, he says, will continue upon the momentum set in the first 4.
This is Kentucky's chance to be the difference, to be both an economic and a moral leader of this country.
Much of Beshear's first term was characterized by his response to natural disasters. Now, one of his key promises is to follow through on the efforts to rebuild every home destroyed by tornadoes and flooding.
By not just rebuilding, but revitalizing. Your Lieutenant Governor and I will be there personally, every step of the way. We love you, and we will get the job done.
His speech carried a lot of the same messaging from his re-election campaign.
Together, we will not meet hate with hate, or anger with anger, or even frustration with frustration. Instead, we will continue with the same love and empathy and compassion that has guided us through so much.
It's worth noting, outside of State Senate President Robert Stivers, several members of Kentucky's GOP leadership were not in attendance. Both Basher and Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman talked about getting teachers major raises, met with applause. Getting that done, though, will likely take some significant Republican support.
The eyes of the country are on us. They're on Kentucky. And the next 4 years are our chance to lead.
Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 on your side.
Other leaders elected back in November will be sworn in on January 1st. Well, thousands of people lined the streets in Frankfort to witness all of these celebrations.
I think the re-election of Andy Basher says it all. We want him back for 4 more years, and we want to move this state forward.
This is the beginning of a new time for Kentucky, for growth in industry, growth in education to Kentuckians.
And you can see all of our team coverage from Tuesday's inauguration on the WHAS 11 YouTube page. Former Kentucky Governor Julian Carroll will be honored later this week in Frankfort. The 54th governor, who died over the weekend at 92, will lie in state at the Capitol Rotunda Friday. In addition to his time as governor, Carroll also served terms in the Kentucky House and State Senate. He will lie in state from 10 a.m. to 12:30. And then from 1:30 to 5 p.m. this Friday. A memorial service will be happening in between at 12:30 going till 1:30. Funeral services are scheduled for Saturday. Norton Healthcare says it's contacting more than 2 million people who may have been impacted by its ransomware attack back in May. Norton said it's offering 2 years of complimentary identity protection services to about 2.4 million people affected. And to put that into perspective, the Louisville metro area, which includes Jefferson and surrounding counties, is nearly 1.4 million people. Last week, Norton said the attackers gained access to certain network storage devices. The company says the MyChart and medical record systems were not impacted. The Indiana Supreme Court is weighing in for the first time in the Delphi murders case. The state's high court denied a request from Richard Allen, the man accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in 2017. He wanted the court to order the judge to make certain documents public and to follow state rules about sealing court records. According to the justices, a recent ruling from Judge Francis Gull resolved most of the issues he'd raised. Next month, the court will hear oral arguments on key questions in this case and will consider reinstating Allen's original defense team and whether the judge should be removed from the case.